NewsBiscuit. Real fake news.
Welcome to NewsBiscuit, the UK's original fake news. NewsBiscuit, leaving top secret documents in all the right places. I'm your host, Wrenfoe, and I'll be crossing the picket line of good taste with SparklyBob.
Hello.
Bernard Castle.
Good morning.
And FlashArry.
Hello.
This month, politicians say the NHS needs reforming into a sausage factory. Dry January gives way to happy hour February, and Parliament blocks Scotland's attempt to self-identify as an independent country. And that brings us to our first round news and brief, where our panelists select their favourite headlines. FlashArry, what have you got for us?
Whiskers undecided about sponsorship with Schrödinger. Charles pursues New Zealand's Arden in January PM transfer window.
Oh, if only that was true.
Oh,
Make
well,
it happen. And we're all suffering from long Boris at the moment, I read this morning.
That sounds like his grinder name.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh no, that's in the head now.
I imagine Boris being a little bit like Mr. Tickle, that his appendage will just pop in through the window of unsuspecting.
So that feels like something that people scared people about getting like fresh air at night. No, shut your windows. You don't want long Boris coming.
Long Boris is on his way.
Yeah, what's that tapping at the window?
It's like a really horrible, like Krampus. I think they used to scare people with.
You can use it to scare your kids at Christmas, can't you?
Yeah.
You'd be good, Long Boris will come instead of Santa.
Don't let him empty his sack. Right, okay.
Oh no.
I can't believe someone said that. Right, okay.
No. You can edit that out.
Yeah, no, let's go at the front. Right, FlashArry.
Met Police vetting procedure will now include neutering as a precaution.
I mean, how many police? I saw a stat the other day about the number of police officers being investigated for sort of sex crimes in this case. It was something like 800, 900 Met police officers. You go, but how many Met police officers are there in London? That must be about 50%. And that's only the sex criminals. That's not even the investigation. It's the ones that are corrupt.
Yeah.
That's a record to be proud of, isn't it?
There's probably one innocent Met police officer who's
He's
having to do
very
all
busy.
he's doing all the investigations.
Yeah, and watching his back. That's obviously a way of catching sex pests. Just like set up a police force, wait for them to join,
Then automatically
investigate them.
prosecute.
Perfect honey trap.
Yeah.
Bernard Castle.
Born of Satan, too ashamed to be associated with FIFA.
FIFA's wonderfully corrupt. I mean, they're sublimely corrupt because they're not tied down to any nation, are they?
Yeah.
So there's no oversight, and you suddenly go, "Wow, that is genuinely without any kind of laws or regulations."
Yeah, and they're quite openly corrupt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're just,
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
flap it around all over the place.
They're having a right laugh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Someone's trying to give it to the suitcase, and they're like, "No, just bring it into the meeting. Lay it on the table.
Make it rain. Make it rain.
Yeah.
Fire it out of a big cannon over me and David Beckham.
Okay, next one I've got here is Zahawi, quotes, feels foolish, end quotes, after failing to notice bags of gold strewn about his house.
Yeah, it's terrible oversight.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What's surprised me with the scandal of, obviously his sort of tax avoidance and other stuff that's starting to come out, it's not obviously that he's avoiding tax and he's corrupt, because that's standard for most politicians. What surprised me is that actually the press has bothered to investigate it for once. But even more surprising is the lead investigator in this is, and pause for effect here, Carol Vorderman. Now,
No.
I wasn't expecting that Carol would segue from doing Countdown to becoming investigative journalist. I mean, what do we get next? Like Charlie Dimmock investigating sex trafficking in the Urals.
Because it turns out she's been doing like a couple of stories, like over the last couple, I was like, well, you kept that quiet with your little maths books you're bringing out for kids to do that.
I don't know.
I wonder with the Countdown, when she was putting up all those letters, maybe she was like giving us hints to kind of the clues to criminals and things, and we were just spelling out words. And she go, "No, you fools! This is the tax code for the whatever it is."
I hope she does a better job than Sue Gray did.
Yeah, well, is she still doing a compiling?
Yeah, I think
Who cares? Who cares?
That's a good job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take as long as you like. Is it a deadline? No.
Yeah, just do it whenever you can. Thing is, it's interesting because I want to know how much do you have to earn before you have an anomaly in your tax and then HMRC go, it's just an innocent mistake. We don't prosecute innocent mistakes. So I'm thinking, well, I think you do. If someone just is quite low down on those tax brackets and asses up their thing, I think you do go after them.
I think it's when the number's so big they can't do it on their calculator, so they just go,
it's
it's an instant mistake. I can't.
Yeah.
They just can't calculate that much.
He probably had a very stern word with himself.
Yeah.
So being as he was actually head of HMRC at the time. Oh, I've done wrong. Oh, never mind. It was an innocent mistake.
Is it?
Moving on.
He's distracted them by going. So if you do this sum, and then you turn it upside down, it spells boobies. And they're so busy doing that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile.
So next one I've got here is Andrew Tate blames careers advisor.
Yeah,
Where did he go wrong?
I'd never heard of Andrew Tate until very recently because I'm not young and I'm not a kind of borderline incel. But he's had a bizarre kind of series of kind of jobs, and he's been a kickboxer and a chess champion and a reality TV star, and now he's a sex trafficker, allegedly.
That is branching out, isn't it?
Where do you get the time to do all those different jobs?
Well, he's definitely pivoted, isn't he?
A wide skill set.
Yeah. This isn't for me anymore. Oh, I know what I'll do. It's just really, I mean, I literally, until that news, I was like, I had no idea who he was. And I think I'd quite like to go back to that, really. Actually, once he's incarcerated, then I'll be like, yeah, I've got no idea who you are.
Yeah, I suspect in the Romanian prison, we won't hear much from him ever again.
No.
He was complaining about the coffee, wasn't he, in the prison? He didn't think the coffee was as good as he'd been able to get at home. And I thought, well, maybe that's how it works in prison.
Yeah. You mean Costa haven't opened up a
No,
branch?
exactly.
No,
All you wanted was a skinny latte with cream on it, and this. I know you can't have that.
Well, I suppose they did put cream on it. Would have been the what
But yes, I think that's in the showers, actually.
Yeah. Well.
He's been constantly boasting since he moved to Romania that they don't arrest people for crimes over there. And you think, you should. And even if that's true, you shouldn't be boasting it. That's a bit of a red rag.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of goading of the police force there, isn't it? Even if they truly aren't, but they'll be like, oh, hold on a minute.
Oh, we'll have it.
Yeah.
We know how to plant evidence.
Well, presumably they're all sex offenders as well, aren't they? Police. Or does it work like that?
No, it's the Metropolitan Police. That's
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't they have some sort of exchange program?
Right. Okay. SparklyBob, what have you got?
Tories prepare daily sleaze stories to distract from the cost of living crisis. I mean, that's not satire. That's true.
That's true.
Like proper stand up.
That's an observation.
Yeah.
Isn't that true, Biscuit?
Yeah. They've gone past like the dead cat theory. It's like that's what the cabinet meetings are now. They're just going around the table and going, right, so what have you got? What have you got? Like, what have you done wrong? Come on, hand it over. My next one is, I was adjusting my booster seat, says Sunak.
This is reference to the fact that he was caught not wearing a seatbelt.
Well, I know why he's done it, because if you're a bitch and you haven't got the booster seat, it's like cutting into your face. Next one is, charity shops brace to receive 1.4 million copies of Spare.
Yes.
Prince Harry's book. Yeah, Mrs. Wrenfoe, she's read it. She enjoyed it. Yeah, she said that whoever the ghostwriter was, they've done a good job. As interesting as it is, and obviously he's got lots of bits of information, I imagine a much more interesting read will be Prince Andrew's.
Do you think so?
Yes. He's lived a much more interesting life.
It's going to have like really elaborate stories about how he worked out that he couldn't sweat.
Yeah.
And like, because he's going to have to go, what did I say? I'm going to drop in really early. So for my 8th birthday party, I insisted on pizza because I love it so much and every opportunity I get.
The non-sweating defense.
Yeah.
Even if it's true, it sounds so implausible. You just don't introduce it into a.
I think you'd be quite ill. Like it would be like a major medical thing if you weren't sweating.
You'd be swollen up.
Yes, you wouldn't be able to regulate your temperature.
Yeah, and he also didn't take into account there are thousands of photographs of him sweating.
Just an aid with a spray or something. Just for the cameras.
Yes, just to
make him look like human.
Yes, man of the people. Look at me.
Dispel the lizard theories.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. The lizard sweat. Maybe he inadvertently has given out some special information from the Illuminati by accident.
There is one, I can't remember what it is though. There is something that we went round to some sort of little children's zoo, and there was some sort of rat thing.
You keep children in a zoo?
No, that didn't sweat. There was like some sort of big rat that didn't sweat, and I was like, oh my god, it's the Prince Andrew. Right, next one is government to invest in more hospital corridors. Justin Bieber sells his songs, but your ears will continue to pay.
Our next round is True Biscuit, where our panel has to guess which is a real headline and which is a fake one. SparklyBob, let's start with you.
Pet fish spends cash and exposes owner's credit card during a Pokemon live stream.
That's just a load of random words.
Yeah, pet fish.
Yes.
They spend cash and they expose owner's credit card during a Pokemon live stream. So the fish have been set up to play games. Yeah.
Fish playing games?
Yeah. So the owners set up something underneath their tank, which is kind of does the controllers. I don't know how it works. It's not me. I've not done it. And so they're able to select stuff and play a game. So they've completed a game already.
But how would fish do well at poker? Because they've got terrible memory.
No, Pokemon.
Oh, sorry, Pokemon. Oh, well, that case,
the memory thing.
Yeah, now I believe it.
Yeah. Apparently, the game crashed. But they were carrying on selecting stuff by doing their little bit of swimming around. And they managed to navigate their way to the console store and managed to add a whole £3.10 to the account, download a game, but while doing so exposed the credit card to everybody watching because it had the credit card number, obviously selected it, and then they managed to change the account name.
What?
Which is amazing considering if I'm playing it, I can't navigate to the store. I find it difficult to buy stuff again.
How super intelligent then a fish?
Isn't it the monkeys with the typewriters that eventually they change fit? Eventually,
if you just keep going, eventually you'll
get an infinite number of monkeys will crack your sort code.
Yeah, luckily Nintendo very kindly refunded the £3.10. Oh, isn't that nice of them? Because they don't do that when a toddler buys £800 worth of stuff accidentally.
They've probably got a very niche kind of clause about fish stealing your money as opposed to anyone else.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll never have to trigger this one.
Yeah. Yeah, but it looks really generous.
You've got to wonder if they've got the credit card details while they weren't surreptitiously upgrading the aquarium. There's all these parcels keep arriving.
Yeah. This is a new pump, a new toy.
New skeleton to the bottom of the tank.
Who's just downloaded Jaws on Netflix? See, it's interesting. I've got a pond in my garden, and I've got goldfish, right? And invariably, I'm over there sort of doing stuff and what have you. And I've often got my phone on me, and I'm always thinking, mustn't drop the phone in the water because the water will damage the phone. But now I'm thinking, mustn't drop the phone in the water because they'll steal my bank details.
Yeah. And phone up a sex line. And...
there's my excuse right there. When Mrs. Wrenfoe asks, it's a fish.
A fish.
Is that going to be the Conservative chairman's excuse for his taxes? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's the next set, isn't it, of people sort of saying, you get the WhatsApp message saying, I've lost my phone, can you transfer money immediately? And little did people know, the next one of those is a group of fish.
There's a wealth of detail which is pushing me, even though I think it's ridiculous. I think it's true.
See, you're the guy at the other end of the phone who works for the bank going, well, actually, the level of detail now, I'm thinking it's true. Yeah, we'll send you the refund. All the extra stuff about fish. Yes,
you've sold me.
Well, the only thing troubling me is the lack of opposable thumbs in fish for doing anything like use a computer. I'm not certain. I'm not sure it's true.
I'm thinking lack of motive as well. I'm sure fish aren't just going, I wish we could play Pokemon.
They're swimming around innocently. When you turn your back, they're looking daggers in the eyes, making them across the throat. Only they could get out of the tank.
Is this true?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh no, it isn't.
Like guy live streams his fish playing games. Who's watching it?
The fish picking up tips.
Yeah, don't leave your TV on with a pet in the room. Who knows what they're learning?
Don't leave your car keys out. The fish will be in it.
I think actually we had a NewsBiscuit one a few episodes back where someone said someone had built a small car and put fish in it, goldfish in a bowl.
Yes.
And the fish could drive the car. But that doesn't actually, bizarrely, that doesn't sound as complicated as playing card game like Pokemon. I mean, that's quite fiddly, that one. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fish,
Well, I think actually it's the bizarrest because I kind of go, okay, it's the fact that they'd actually completed a game, 3,000 hours, but they had actually completed a previous game, which is a bit nuts. Like they're like, no, left a bit, right, yeah, we've killed the boss, guys. That's even more nuts, but there you go.
Right, okay.
We believe you.
Yeah. FlashArry, what have you got?
Dutch authorities to paintball wolves.
Paintball
wolves.
Not the football
Not
fans.
the football club.
Not well. Actually, no, I read the headline.
After one particular European Cup night, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Unleash the paintballers.
Like you've got urban wolves.
But why? Why paintball them? So people can see. So they're not. I don't know what colour.
It's to discourage them.
To create a fear of paint in them.
Yeah,
possibly
primary colours.
or possibly to upset them because they all upgraded to laser tag 10 years ago. Yeah, and it's difficult to stalk game when you look like a Jackson Pollock.
Well, that's the yes. I mean, I'm not a fan of the concept of hunting, except actually, if you hunted wolves and all you had was a paintball gun, that's quite a scary thing because basically you're antagonizing the wolf. You hit the wolf, you go, "Oh, I've got him! Oh shit, he's coming right for me!"
Yeah, well, it's all right when the wolf is kind of like, "Ow, that really hurts," but eventually, surely they'll go, "Ow, that really hurts." But
Hang
I'm
on.
not hurt. You did it.
And imagine if they started colluding with goldfish as well, with their superior intelligence.
Or what? Packs of wolves with goldfish bowls.
With goldfish bowls, yeah. Then we're doomed. Then we're doomed.
Right. And then you wouldn't have to. Well, that's what they would have to worry about urban wolves because then they would be stealing credit cards.
Yeah, there you are.
Mugging people.
I can't believe Disney haven't made a movie of this.
It does sound like it's a sort of Amsterdam coffee bar idea that's got out of hand.
12 o'clock at night. Let's just brainstorm, guys. Let's just see what we come up with.
It's good for the wolves. Yeah.
Don't forget the fish.
They do like a frequency. Like, I was saying that you can get these things, can't you, that are meant to scale for like rats and stuff in your garden. We once had a problem with a neighbour who had decking, so had like loads of rats under the decking, and we got one of those sonar thingies that meant to do it. And I must admit, I did witness the rat like crawling over it, looking in it. I was like, that's meant to be hurting your ears. You're not meant to be anywhere near us. And
all you do is get a load of rats dressed in techno gear.
Yeah. How many people you got to have out dressed in paintballing gear, ready to? You'd have to have somebody patrolling all the time, surely.
Oh, that is a good job, though. I'd like that
You'd
job.
be that.
Just walking around in paintballing.
Yeah, in camos, and you get a big fuck off gun, but nobody's really getting hurt. Brilliant.
Or you say that, but the pellets they're quite a lot, and they only give you like 20. So gotta make sure you hit that wall properly. You're a bad shot.
It's a pack of 21. Oh no, they're coming at me. I can only get 20 of them. The alpha wolf is still coming.
I think false, because I think there's easier ways of doing that. So that might not be as fun, but I think there's easier ways of doing it.
So I think false.
It was reported on the BBC.
False then.
So false.
I mean, they were considering it.
Well, they always talk about kind of bringing wolves back to the UK, don't they? In order to kind of maintain. Does that mean also they can get an influx of paintballers? Is that Is that we don't consider the kind of ultimate environmental impact of these things when we bring them back. So likewise, when we bring back like beavers to suddenly, I don't know, do we get a whole load of other hobbyists suddenly appear out of nowhere?
Imagine
somehow.
Suella Braverman would be like livid, wouldn't she? She'd be like, yeah, we've got gotta send these like people coming back, these paintball tourists coming to do you actually want to come and do paintballing, or are you just using it as an excuse to come here?
So the one I've got here is pig dishes out dose of karma by killing butcher who tried to slaughter it. I can give you a little bit more information if it would help.
Did he have a fish giving him instructions about how to do it?
Or an irate wolf.
Yeah.
In paint.
I'm just scared of animals now as a result of this episode.
I know. Well, they're very dangerous, aren't they?
Who knows what they're thinking?
Because you guys select all these stories independently of one another. How do you all come to the table with a scary animal story? What's that about?
Police in Hong Kong confirmed the 61-year-old shot the animal with a stun gun before it regained consciousness and knocked him over, and he fell onto the knife that he was going to use to kill it.
Oh my God, that's unfortunate.
It's a tragedy. I don't mind we're laughing. It's tragic.
It sounds jolly suspicious to me. I'd like to know if he had any arguments with any work colleagues. Because someone with a knife in his back, I would be thinking,
it was the pig.
It was the pig.
He's storing the knife. So I'm not being funny. I thought the conventional knife block put the knife in, blade down. But is he storing them?
You
blade
store it
up,
in your back.
pointing out.
You store it in your back. That's always the way. Blade pointing towards your chest.
Someone needs some basic running with scissors guidance there.
They said karma. But really, if it was karma, then the pig would have been released, or the pig would have been given a job in the abattoir. Yeah, become the butcher. But I strongly suspect the pig was killed afterwards. Do we know what happened to the pig?
Yes, we do. We do.
Oh, okay. Investigative.
Absolutely.
Carol Vorderman would love this.
Absolutely. The authorities at the Shuang Shui slaughterhouse decided, given what had happened, that the pig should be allowed to be set free.
Well, that's just rewarding.
To kill others.
Stalking the streets at midnight.
That's very mixed messages.
And was given a knife, and it joined the Hong Kong police force.
So what do you say to the general public? We've just released the pig into the wild. They're all fair enough. It's a killer pig.
It should be fine. Just don't leave any sharp objects around by it.
Once he's got a taste for it, though.
This does feel like that is a setup, as Wrenfoe says, of someone not liking that butcher.
Yeah.
And then going, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened. It's great. What a crazy story. But there's so much detail in it. It must be true.
Yeah. FlashArry buys another one, yeah. A flummox with detail every time. Just throw some extra stuff. And he's like, I'm on board, whatever it is. The moment you said pig, you had me at pig.
Like the homicide department in Hong Kong police can now pin all their unsolved murders on this pig. I'm going to say false, but
yeah, if it's not the fish embezzling, it's the pigs murdering.
That's one step too far for me in terms of the criminal hierarchy.
I could imagine it rushing them. And
okay, well, it is indeed true, and I'll leave this subject with a quote: the management of the Shuang Shui slaughterhouse, who said, "Pigs are rarely violent animals, except when protecting their young."
I would have thought a more accurate quote rather than going, well, maybe he's protecting his young. That's when they go violent. They can also go violent probably when you shove a load of electricity through them.
Yeah.
They get slightly annoyed.
That's why I liked it. That's why I liked it, because it's completely missing the point.
SparklyBob.
This isn't animal related.
Oh, well, in that case, we're not including it.
I know, sorry. A 24-year-old woman falls into the Walsall Canal thinking it was grass.
So she just thought she was jumping onto a lawn, a long, thin lawn.
Yeah, she just thought she was stepping across,
with boats
off
on it.
of a concrete thing, down a concrete step onto a lovely patch of grass.
Did you not wonder why there were a lot of boats on the lawn?
Yes. I'm going to make an assumption about, and it's a bit harsh, but I'm making an assumption about British women late at night. Was she drunk?
I don't think she was. No, she's just walking to a nearby restaurant, and she just stepped in.
You've got to hope she was with friends, because it's moments like that you want to remember for the rest of your life. Do you remember when Carol jumped in the canal? Yeah, it's brilliant.
And I think it's not about the state of the woman; it's about the state of the canal. That it looked like grass. And she said she now suffers from anxiety and has had to take time off of work, cancel holidays, and struggles to leave the house because she doesn't know what's reality, what isn't reality, what am I stepping on?
She no longer trusts grass.
This is where the quicksand comes in. Like when I was younger, you were just really worried about like drowning in quicksand. That seemed to appear in like loads of things. That this is how you get out of quicksand. This is it now for her. Yeah. People were just, she said, watching her drown because presumably they were laughing.
Oh well, there's not a lot to do around the Warsaw canals there.
She didn't sustain any serious injuries, but felt unwell for 2 days afterwards.
Yeah, she drank the canal water, I suspect.
Actually, I think she's got off lightly there.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Might it have been the act of a vindictive guide dog?
I would say it was true, yeah. As someone who's accidentally cycled into a canal in Holland, I know how easy it is. It can happen.
Were you being chased by a multicolored wolf at the time?
No,
True.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
And the picture of it, to be fair to her, it does look like AstroTurf. Like it's such a lovely, beautiful shade of green with no glimpse of water in between. But then it has got pontoons. So I do think that's the bit that's a slight giveaway.
FlashArry, have you got another one?
US fighter aircraft used to deliver ice cream to the front line.
Front line of where?
This is the Mr. Whippy squadron.
Is this where the Ukraine has asked for very specific weaponry and and the US has got, you get some ice cream.
Yeah, go for the brain freeze.
Yeah,
they won't be able to move.
Yeah, that'll get them. And it's dropped, is it, or is it fired from the?
It's dropped. You know.
That would only be nice though if that was somewhere hot, because if it's like the winter, you'd be like, thanks a bunch. Like we don't want this. Like I don't want to get colder. Like
perhaps they alternate with soup in winter months.
I mean, again, I'm visualizing it. Is it a box and there's obviously a parachute above, or is it each individual ice cream has its own little kind of?
Oh, that would be great, like a scatter bomb.
Yeah. Is it that? And you've got to just hold up your hand and grab it.
The thing is, if it was a box, you could end up like braining somebody.
Yeah,
Imagine being killed by falling ice cream. That would be awful.
Is this just simply because Mr. Whippy vans refuse to drive to the front line?
Well, they are
having
very
to
well
drop these things
camouflaged, aren't they?
Particularly the tune. When they play the tune as it comes in, they're like,
oh shit.
All the guys running out the trenches on either side. Hey! Ice cream van. Both sides.
It's like the little armistice they had in the First World War when they played football.
And the First World War stopped for sprinkles.
Standing in no man's land with a mivvy.
Yeah.
You'd feel invulnerable, wouldn't you?
I just like the idea that on the front line as well, the troops, the one thing they need above all else. Do we need any more bandages? Well, yes, but I'd love a 99 flake. Yes.
Are they going on? They've gone on the principle of a scraped knee on the beachfront to cheer you up. You've got a scraped knee. Your mum or your dad would go, "Oh, do you want an ice lolly? That'll make you feel better. Have a flake."
What did you just say, FlashArry? Someone had gone, "Oh, I'd kill for an ice cream." And someone's gone, "Oh, well, if that's your motivation."
Here you go.
I wonder as well why they'd risk an expensive aeroplane to deliver ice cream.
You think just fire it from some sort of huge cannon?
I don't know, put it on a horse or something. I don't know. Find some wolves.
Speak to the fish overlords. See if you can negotiate a cheap wolf price.
I think false.
I think false.
It's a little historical note that's not mentioned about D-Day, is that the Americans couldn't get their mobile ice cream units off the beaches on the landings.
Well, no, FlashArry. You've now raised more stuff. At D-Day, they had mobile ice cream units.
They'll turn up everywhere.
I watched Saving Private Ryan.
There's never
the first 10 minutes where everyone's getting shot. I didn't see anyone sort of running with like a load of cornettos. to the beach.
Well, coming back to where you got like, I've got 10. Oh, we only need 8 now.
And that's changed the context because I always assumed, D-Day, incredibly sort of brave thing and blah, blah, blah. But I'm thinking they were having ice creams on the beach.
Having
What?
picnics.
That was a day out. There are other people sort of who were packing lilos and things. They'd all heard that they were going to a beach. They were like, brilliant, we're going to go to town for this. Anyone got suntan lotion? And there's the sergeants there going, no, you're going to need guns. You're going to need guns. They're like, nah, who's got ice cream?
Yeah, distributing the Kiss Me Quick hats.
And so they got their stuff stuck on the beach, and then we're like, oh, this is terrible. We still need to get those ice creams to the guys. Because the front, and again, this is me knowing a wee bit about the Second World War and stuff. The front line was like it was things like the Battle of the Bulge, wasn't it? Which was in a ferociously cold forest. And they're getting ice creams to these guys.
Yeah, but D-Day was in June, so I can see why you'd want ice cream in June.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense now.
Could you imagine, though, being the soldiers going, oh, they're coming to take you? What do you mean it's bloody ice cream?
Parallel development by the British at the time was to use the same delivery method to put beer in for the troops.
Oh, it was one big jolly, the Second World War. I mean, that's put Boris Johnson's party into a proper kind of. I feel sorry for him now because all my granddads, they were liars.
Yeah, it were terrible.
I'm saying this right now. All those medals, those weren't medals. They were like the tops off of bottles.
I've got one last one, yes. Woman PC sacked for hiding in suspect's wardrobe during raid instead of handing him in.
So several of the police, they all ran in to get this guy, and she just made a beeline for the wardrobe and hid in it.
No.
Oh.
You have
already
the sequence.
Like, she hid him in there.
The police did a raid on the house.
And found her in it.
And found her hiding in the wardrobe in the house, having arrested the bloke that they went in to get.
So she was there. She was there trying to arrest Aslan, was she? How long is she in this wardrobe for?
This item doesn't say how long.
I like the idea it could have been months. She'd just been on a missing list of police officers, and they're like, "What's that noise in the wardrobe?" It's Janet. Janet, what are you doing in the wardrobe?
She's got coming out at night time.
Yeah.
Foraging the kitchen, back in again.
Yeah.
When he opens the wardrobe, passing out outfits so he doesn't. he just thinks it's amazing. So I've got this really posh wardrobe. Lays the clothes out of my bed for me when I wake up in the morning.
How's that happen? How did that happen? Someone's hiding my shirts. How did that happen? She was discovered in a search of the house after the suspect had been arrested and taken off, and found her hiding in the wardrobe.
Oh, there must have been a bit where she was like, "I'm hiding in this wardrobe. Oh God, they're going to arrest him. I hope they don't find me." And they get him and they take him away. She's like hiding in the wardrobe still. She goes, "All right, I'll just wait till they're gone, and then I'll sneak out, and I'll be fine." And then she hears them like still looking around the house. She's like, "Oh no, they're gonna." Oh. Didn't you just kind of pop out quickly and go, "I was here all along"?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing in there, Sarge.
Yeah. Surprise!
Is this what undercover police do? They just hide in your cupboard? Because I'm going to check in a second.
You should always check your wardrobe before you.
Why was she there then? Why was she there ahead of the raid?
There's the question.
I assume she was having an affair with him. He thought his wife had come home, so she jumps in the wardrobe like you would do, like any good farce. And then, unfortunately, it was a police raid. And she's like, awkward.
But she was sacked for gross misconduct.
The other image I quite like mentally is the idea that this guy's like arrested and he's being taken out of the house, and he just turns to one side. She's stepping out the wardrobe. He's like, "What? There's a person in my wardrobe."
That's planting evidence gone mad, isn't it?
Yes.
Right, we're having you for abduction.
I think it's true.
Because why? Why would you believe that?
Because why not? Like, it's so weird. Like, why
not?
Like, and it's a sort of thing where, yeah, exactly, you say the police raids happen. She thought, oh my,
if I'm found,
and it's just gone. I'll just hide in the wardrobe. No one will know. No one will know.
They'll never search the house of a drug dealer.
Yeah. It's a like really stupid thing. You think, oh, I'll do that and like get away with it. And probably when you're in there, it's that whole thing of, should I come out now? No, I'll wait a bit longer.
Hey, maybe it's completely innocent. Maybe the month before she'd fallen asleep in an IKEA store and she woke up in this guy's house. This whole thing had been kind of. And after that, I mean, if I was the police officer who, not the one in the wardrobe, but the one who found her there, I'd be like, right, check every other cupboard in the place.
There's a mime in the kitchen cupboard. I don't know what is going on here.
FlashArry, true or false?
I think it's true.
Because you've hidden in many awards.
Well, don't like to brag.
Well, you don't want to really, because it draws attention to behind your wardrobe.
Yeah.
I ain't true. It's a stupid thing that somebody would do in panic and then just think I can't come out.
Yeah, my next move is limited.
Yeah, but it's like a toddler
I can start a tunnel.
Yes. But it's like doing hide and seek with a toddler where they just cover their face and go, you can't see me. I can't see you, so you can't see me. And I think that's it. Like she's buried herself in there and gone, if they're really quiet, they'll go away.
It is true. And police said in a statement, quotes, present at the same location was a wanted person of whom the officer had full knowledge.
Well, yeah, of course she had full knowledge. She was in his wardrobe.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You could come out and go, where am I? Oh, I've sleepwalked.
I thought I was in Aldi.
Yeah, step out. That's all fixed for you now. What? It's all part of the service. I'll be off now.
Yeah. I was actually on the raid. I just noticed you had a bit of a wobbly shelf bracket, so I just popped in there.
Right. Finally, we reached the magic 8 ball. Each of our guests is going to give us their predictions for next month's news. SparklyBob.
Award season, aren't we, for the entertainment industry? So I think my one is going to be Trump, the first president to win an EGOT, though in his case it will be evasion of tax, grand larceny, obstruction of justice and treason.
Nice. And he'd turn up for the award ceremony because he doesn't give shit, doesn't he? He would love it.
He would say, I'm the best of evasion of tax. And then Nadeem Sari would go, excuse me.
Hold my point.
Yeah.
Right, Bernard Castle, what's going to happen next month?
Ice cream vans to be used to supplement the ambulance service.
Are these the ones from the D-Day beaches?
They aren't busy at this time of year and have cold storage should anything go wrong.
FlashArry.
As the list of charges and dodgy deals lengthens, plans to move HM government to HMP Dart.
Yeah, just simpler. Cut out the middleman. Right.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. And I can reveal this month's winner is anyone not watching the reboot of Scooby-Doo. And if you guys don't know, because you'll be going, what's that? It's got the 3rd worst ratings of any TV show of all time. They've rebooted Scooby-Doo, but rather than go with like Scooby-Doo being like the main character, they've called it Velma.
It was the least interesting character and actually, well, not the most annoying, because Scrappy-Doo, I think we can all be on board. That's the most
Scrappy
annoying.
was poison.
But Velma was always she was just a little bit. Oh no, she was right. But
and apparently she's not fighting ghosts anymore. She's fighting the patriarchy, apparently. So
all right.
Again, I think you're losing your core audience, but hey ho. Right. I'd like to thank our guests, SparklyBob.
Thank you.
Bernard Castle.
Thank you and goodbye.
And FlashArry.
You.
And I leave you with these headlines. Dysfunctional jam factory, unable to guarantee jam tomorrow. A&E patients reminded to bring a pound coin for the trolley. And Buzz Aldrin's wedding night ruined as bride reveals Neil Armstrong got there first.
Yes.
You've been listening to NewsBiscuit, free to read and free to write for. We accept submissions from any budding satirist, young or old. Visit newsbiscuit.com to submit headlines, stories, and to support new writers.
NewsBiscuit, real fake news.
I've got my new little heated mug. So this is the thing that it charges, like you've got a little thing so it keeps it warm at a constant temperature.
Hold on. If you put hot tea or hot coffee in a mug, isn't it warm?
Yeah. But the problem is, I get distracted and I don't drink it.
Is there a risk that you could electrocute your face when you drink it?
Not unless I lifted the charger and perhaps popped that in my mouth as I drank that. And that would be such a weird thing to do.
Mistaking it for a digestive biscuit.
Yeah. Have a little gnaw
Oh,
on
it's
it.
very crunchy.
Dunking of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not Jaws from Billy James Bond. Getting through electrical equipment without any worry.
My other favourite story of the week, an American senator who's got into trouble recently for basically fabricating his CV. He claimed to have gone to certain universities and got certain degrees, and he hadn't. And he's not the first guy to try to pull that stunt, and you go, oh, that's bad. But he seemed to have been a bit of a Walter Mitty character, and he was just adding in extra layers of lies. So he'd also claimed that his family had died in the Holocaust, and they hadn't. And you're like, oh, you just don't go there. And I'm thinking,
no need to do that.
Well, I'm thinking he can't make this worse. But no. There's another level. He then claimed his mother had died in 9/11. And she hadn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Now all of you guys are giving an appropriate reaction right now. But what's the interesting thing is the thing the American public got most upset about is not the stuff he lied about, but the true thing that he'd done. And the true thing was he'd once upon a time been a drag artist.
Oh my God.
So
that's not acceptable.
Yeah, it's beyond the pale.
Jesus
so
Christ,
you can lie about the Holocaust and 9/11, but a bloke in a dress. What happened was a photograph surfaced of him, wearing his drag outfit, and he was like, it was a one-off. It was at a party or a Mardi Gras. He did it once, and then loads of people have come out, friends from his youth, gone, no. He used to tour.